The SUV's tinted windows caught the Lagos sun like black mirrors. When the door swung open, phones rose like a reflex. Out stepped Zina, 26, honey blonde knotless braids threaded with gold cuffs. A vine tattoo crawled up her neck, disappearing behind her ear. Bottega bag, Jacquemus dress, anklets that cost more than most people's rent. She moved through the Echo Hotel lobby like she owned the marble floors. Because in a way she did. Behind the cameras, behind the whispers, behind the Instagram stories that would be screenshot and dissected in group chats across the city. Zena knew exactly what they were thinking. Where does she get the money? 3 kilometers away, in a cramped one-bedroom in Surulere, her former friends had the same question. Kemi's thumb scrolled through Zena's Instagram feed with the practiced speed of someone who'd done this 100 times. Tolu leaned over her shoulder. Jade sat cross-legged on the bed, painting her nails, the cheap polish that chipped in 2 days. Hermes bag, Kemi muttered. That's 2.5 million naira minimum. Capri last month, Santorini before that. Tolu's voice carried an edge. We were in the same class. We ate the same bread and egg. Now look at her. Jade blew on her nails. My mom said her mom doesn't even know where the money comes from. She asked Auntie Folek at church, and Auntie Folek said Zina won't tell her own mother. Kemi locked her phone. The screen went black, but Zina's face, radiant, unbothered, burned behind her eyes. She's doing something, Kemi said. Nobody our age gets rich this fast. Not clean money. You think she's... Tolu trailed off, but they all knew what she meant. Married men, Jade whispered. Has to be. Look at the hotels, the trips, the private dinners. Kemi picked up her phone again. This time she opened a new group chat, named it The Real Ones. Added Tolu and Jade. We need proof, she typed, before she destroys more girls with this fake lifestyle. The message hung there. Then, 3 typing bubbles. Jade. How? Kemi smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. We follow her. Next time she posts a location, we go. We film everything. Then we show Lagos who Zina really is. 5 years earlier, Zina had eaten 1 meal a day. Rice, sometimes beans. Occasionally, if her freelance graphic design gigs paid on time, she'd buy chicken. She lived in a single room in Yaba, the kind where you could touch all 4 walls without moving. Her laptop was second-hand, a Toshiba that overheated if you ran Photoshop for more than an hour. She designed flyers for 3,000 naira, logos for 5,000 naira, birthday banners for church aunties who paid in praise and promises. You're so talented, Zina. God will bless you. Praises didn't pay rent, so she learned. YouTube tutorials at midnight, LinkedIn courses on brand strategy. She studied influencers the way med students studied anatomy. What made them work? What made them worth something? She built her Instagram like architecture. Color palette, soft neutrals, gold accents, occasional pops of cobalt blue. Captions, short, punchy, never desperate. Photos, high quality, even when taken on a cracked iPhone 7. She didn't have money, but she looked like she did. And in Lagos, looking the part was half the hustle. Her first brand deal came from a skincare company. 50,000 naira for 3 posts. She cried in that tiny Yaba room, mascara running, because it was the most money she'd ever made in a week. She reinvested everything. New phone, ring light, backdrops, a media kit. She pitched brands every single day, sometimes 20 emails before breakfast. Most ignored her. Some said no, 2 said yes, then 5, then 12. By year 3, she had a manager, a contract attorney, and a tax consultant. She wasn't guessing anymore. She was a business. Zina Akinlaid, brand strategist, influencer, CEO of her own damn empire. But nobody remembered the Yaba room. They only saw the Hermes bag, and they hated her for it. Zina stood in front of her mirror now, adjusting the collar of her blazer. Underneath, a simple black bodysuit. Over it, the kind of confidence that came from knowing your account balanced down to the kobo. Her phone buzzed. Calendar reminder. Client lunch, Echo Hotel, 2 p.m. She screenshot it, added a quick caption. Client lunch, and posted it to her story. Within 60 seconds, Kemi saw it. Within 5 minutes, the plan was in motion. Zina grabbed her briefcase, the Metier one, structured and serious, and walked out of her Ikoyi apartment without a single worry in the world. She had no idea three people were about to try to destroy her life. Kemi, Tolu, and Jade sat in the back of a boat, sunglasses on, hoodies up despite the heat. We look crazy, Tolu muttered. We look focused, Kemi corrected. The driver dropped them 2 blocks from Echo Hotel. They walked the rest, phones out, trying to blend into the steady flow of Lagos hustle. Businessmen, tourists, women in geles heading to weddings in the ballroom. Kemi spotted Zina first. She was at a corner table in the hotel restaurant, the kind with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the lagoon. Laptop open, phone face down, a glass of sparkling water sweating in the sun. Start recording, Kemi hissed. Jade pulled out her phone, angling it low. The camera caught Zina in profile, poised, professional, alone. Then a man arrived. Mid-40s, trimmed beard, expensive watch, wedding ring. Tolu gasped. Oh my God. Zoom in, Kemi whispered. Get the ring. Jade's hands shook, but she got the shot. The man sat down. They shook hands, formal, businesslike. Zeno pulled a folder from her briefcase. He pulled out an iPad. They talked, heads bent over documents, for what felt like hours. This is boring, Jade complained after 40 minutes. Keep recording, Kemi snapped. Zena showed the man something on her laptop. He nodded. She typed. He signed something, physically signed, pen on paper. They shook hands again. A waiter brought the check. Zena pulled out a company card. The man didn't reach for his wallet. After 90 minutes, they stood. No hug, no kiss, no hand on the small of her back, just a handshake and a thank you, we'll be in touch. Zena walked out of the restaurant, briefcase in hand, alone. Kemi's jaw tightened. It doesn't matter, she said. We'll edit it. Make it look right. Back in Kemi's room, the three of them huddled around the laptop. Tolu had downloaded a free editing app. Jade bought airtime to boost the post once it went live. Kemi did the cutting. She trimmed out the contracts, the laptop, the paperwork. She kept the man's arrival, the wedding ring. A moment where Zina laughed, cropped so you couldn't see she was laughing at a meme on her phone, not at something he said. The final video was 43 seconds long. It looked exactly like what they wanted it to look like. Kemi typed the caption. Influencer exposed, see who she's really meeting in hotels. This is how they really make their money. Don't be fooled. Swipe for receipts. There were no receipts. She posted it to a burner Twitter account at 9 p.m. on a Friday night. Peak scroll time. Within 10 minutes, it had 50 retweets. Within an hour, 2,000. By midnight, Zina's name was trending. Zina saw the video at 11:47 p.m. She was in her living room, barefoot, hair wrapped, a glass of Chardonnay in her hand. She'd just finished a content calendar for a telco client. 8 million naira contract due Monday. Her phone started vibrating like it was possessed. DMS mentions, tags, group chats she hadn't opened in months suddenly lighting up. She clicked the video link someone sent, watched it once, watched it again. Her hands didn't shake, her breath didn't catch. She took a slow sip of wine, set the glass down, and smiled. Not a sad smile, not a bitter one, a dangerous one. She opened her laptop, logged into Dropbox, started pulling files. The original video from the hotel's security cam. She'd requested a copy for her records after signing the NDA. The contract itself, 12 million naira, 6-month campaign, signed by her, signed by the CMO, notarized. Email threads, invoice marked pay aid, her company's CAC registration, tax clearance certificate. She screen recorded herself opening each document, showed the dates, showed the terms, redacted personal details but left enough to be clear. Then she trimmed the full restaurant footage, all 90 minutes of boring professional legal business, uploaded it to YouTube, unlisted link, posted it to Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. Caption: since y'all love investigating me, here's the full story. Watch till the end. She hit post at 1:23 a.m. Then she finished her wine and went to bed. By morning, the internet had lost its mind. Zina woke to 14,000 notifications. She didn't open them right away. First, she did her skincare routine. Then she made breakfast: eggs, plantain, avocado toast. She ate slowly, chewing every bite, even though her phone was buzzing itself across the kitchen counter. Only after she'd washed her plate did she sit down and look. The video had been viewed 900,000 times. The comments were a war zone. They tried to destroy her and she came with receipts. This is why we don't believe everything online. I owe this woman an apology. I called her terrible things last night. She's running a real business and y'all tried to make her a prostitute. Shame, but also, she's still too flashy. Something is off. Why does she need to prove herself? Guilty conscience? I still don't trust her. Zina scrolled past those. She'd learned years ago, you can't convince people who've already decided to hate you. Her phone rang. Her mother. Zina hesitated, then answered. Zina. Her mother's voice was small, tired. People are calling me. Your aunties, the neighbors. They're asking if it's true. If I'm what, mommy? Silence. Mommy, say it. If you're selling your body. Zina closed her eyes, breathed through her nose. Did you watch the video I posted? I don't understand all these computer things. Then watch it. I sent you the link. Watch it and call me back. She hung up. Her younger sister called next. 16, still in secondary school. Voice thick with tears. Zina, people are saying things about you at school. My friends' parents are telling them not to talk to me. They're saying you're a bad influence. Zina's jaw tightened. Ada, listen to me. People will always talk, especially about women with money and no husband. You have to decide right now if you're going to let them define you or if you're going to define yourself. But it's not fair. No, it's not. But it's real. So, get used to it. She hung up before the tears could crack her voice. Then she sat there in her beautiful apartment with her Hermes bag and her tax receipts and her 47 million naira in the bank and allowed herself 60 seconds of pure, unfiltered rage. After that, she got back to work. By noon, the man from the video had released a statement. Miss Zina Akinlaid was contracted by Redacted Company as a brand strategist and campaign consultant. Our meeting on date was professional, recorded per company policy, and resulted in a legally binding agreement. Any insinuation otherwise is defamatory and will be treated as such. Lawyers got involved. The original burner account was suspended. Apology threads started popping up like mushrooms after rain. But the damage was personal, and damage like that doesn't wash off with apologies. Zina's DMs were flooded with messages from strangers. You're an inspiration. Thank you for showing us the truth. How do I get into brand deals? Can you mentor me? And then, buried in the noise, one message stood out from an account she didn't recognize. No profile picture, few followers. I've been watching this unfold. I think I know who set you up. Can we talk? Zina stared at the message. Her instinct said, block, ignore, move on. But something else, curiosity maybe, or exhaustion, made her type back. Who is this? The reply came instantly. Someone who understands what it's like to be successful and hated for it. Meet me tomorrow. Victoria Island. I'll send the address. Come alone. Zina should have said no. Instead, she said yes. The restaurant was small, tucked into a quiet corner of 6 where the tourists didn't go. White tablecloths, soft jazz, the kind of place where people came to talk, not be seen. Zina arrived 10 minutes early, scanning the room. A man stood when she entered, late 20s, clean-shaven, sharp jawline, navy suit, no tie, confident but not cocky. He extended a hand. Danielle Okoye. She shook it, wary. You gonna tell me why you're in my DMs like a private investigator? He smiled. Because I am one. Sort of. I run a PR crisis management firm. Reputation defense, digital forensics, that kind of thing. Zina sat down slowly. And you're telling me this, why? Because I tracked the video back to the source. He pulled out an iPad, opened the file, metadata, IP addresses, account creation timestamps, a digital trail that led straight to a name Zina already knew in her gut. Kemi Adeyemi, Daniel said. Uploaded from her phone, used the burner account, but she wasn't careful. Left traces. Zina's hands curled into fists under the table. Why are you telling me this? Daniel leaned back. Because I've seen this pattern 100 times. Successful woman, public facing, no husband. People assume she's doing something dirty, so they go looking for dirt. When they don't find it, they create it. Zina studied him. You get paid to fix this kind of thing. I do. But I'm not here to pitch you a service. Then what do you want? He met her eyes. To make sure you don't have to fight the next battle alone. Something about the way he said it, steady, unbothered, made Zina's defenses crack just slightly. I don't need saving, she said. I know. That's why I'm here. They sat in silence for a moment. Then Daniel flagged down a waiter. Order something, he said, and then tell me how you really built your business. I want to hear it. So she did. 2 hours later, Zina had told him everything. The Yaba room, the 3,000 naira flyers, the 100 rejected pitches, the first 50,000 naira that made her cry, the strategy, the grind, the tax consultants, the contracts. Daniel listened without interrupting. When she finished, he nodded slowly. You know what's funny? He said. I built my company the same way. Grinding in my cousin's parlor, cold emailing CEOs at 3 a.m. Made my first 500,000 naira in year 2, and my family asked if I was doing Yahoo. Zina laughed, sharp and bitter. They always think it's fraud or sex, never just work. Because work isn't dramatic enough for them. She looked at him, really looked. Why do you care though? You don't know me. Daniel's expression softened. Because the industry needs more people like you. People who do it right and refuse to apologize for winning. He paused. And because I think you're brilliant. Zina's breath caught. Before she could respond, Daniel's phone buzzed. He glanced at it, frowned. I'm heading to your hometown this weekend, he said. Business meeting near Ibadan. I heard your name come up. Some relatives asking questions. Zina's stomach dropped. What kind of questions? The kind you don't want spreading. He looked at her. Want me to set the record straight? She should have said no, but she was tired of fighting alone. Yeah, she said quietly. Do that. Zina didn't hear from Daniel for 3 days. She worked, closed 2 more deals, posted content, ignored the residual hate comments, but her mind kept circling back to him. I think you're brilliant. Nobody had said that to her in a long time, not since her father died, back when she was 19, and still believe people clapped for your success instead of resenting it. On the 4th day, Daniel called. I'm in Ibadan, he said, and you were right to be worried. Zina's grip tightened on the phone. What did they say? Your aunties have a theory. They think you're doing rituals, blood money. Some of them are saying you joined the cult. She laughed. Cold, hollow. Of course they are. There's more. Your mom's friends are planning an intervention. Family meeting. This Sunday. Zina went quiet. You don't have to go, Daniel said gently. Yes, I do. Her voice was still. If I don't, they'll say I'm running, that I'm guilty. Then I'm coming with you. You don't have to. I know. I'm doing it anyway. Something warm unfolded in Zina's chest. Something she hadn't let herself feel in years. Trust. Okay, she said. Sunday. Sunday came too fast. Zina drove to her family compound in Ibadan. Danielle in the passenger seat. She wore a white linen dress. Simple, elegant, untouchable. Her tattoo was visible. She didn't hide it. The compound was packed. Aunties in Iro and Buba. Uncles in Agbada. Cousins she hadn't seen in years. Suddenly very interested in her life. Her mother sat near the front, wringing her hands. Zina walked in like she was walking into a boardroom. Daniel followed. quiet but present. The interrogation started immediately. Zina, sit down. She remained standing. Where is this money coming from? Contracts, brand deals, paid campaigns. We've heard things, terrible things. You've heard lies. An uncle leaned forward. Is it true you've been meeting married men in hotels? Zina pulled out her phone, connected it to a portable speaker she'd brought, played the full hotel footage, the contract signing, the email threads, the invoice. The room went silent. That man, she said, voice calm and little, is the CMO of a multinational. That meeting was professional, recorded, legal. I was paid 12 million naira for a 6-month campaign. She pulled out printed documents, laid them on the table like cards. Here's my CAC registration. Here's my tax clearance. Here's my business account statement. Details redacted, but you can see the deposits. All legal, all clean. Her mother's friend, Auntie Bimpy, sniffed. But why do you dress like that? Why the tattoo? Why the hair? Zina's smile was sharp. Because I can afford to, and because my body is mine. Your mates are married with children. My mates are broke. Zina cut in. I pay taxes. I employ 3 people. I've made 80 million naira in 2 years. Legally. If that's not respectable, then respect is a scam. The room erupted in murmurs. Then Daniel stood. Excuse me, he said, calm and firm. My name is Daniel Okoye. I run a PR firm in Lagos. I've worked with Zina professionally, and I can confirm everything she's told you is true. He looked around the room. I've also seen her tax documents, her contracts, her compliance filings. She's one of the most legitimate business owners I've met. And the fact that you're questioning her, while men her age buy Range Rovers and nobody asks them where the money comes from, says everything. An uncle opened his mouth. Daniel raised a hand. Oh, I'm not done. I'm also here because I care about her a lot. And if anyone here spreads more lies, they'll deal with me, professionally and personally. The room went silent. Zina stared at him, heart pounding. Then Auntie Bimpy's daughter, Kemi, walked in. She froze when she saw Zina. Their eyes locked. Zina didn't blink. Kemi looked away first. After the meeting ended, awkward, unresolved, simmering, Zina stepped outside. The compound was quieter now. Most of the family had filtered toward the food tables, pretending nothing had happened. Zina stood by the gate, arms crossed, breathing in the thick Ibadan air. Footsteps behind her. She turned. Kemi. Her former friend looked smaller somehow, thinner, hair tied back in a simple bun, no makeup, eyes red. Zina, Kemi said, voice shaking. Zina said nothing. I need to talk to you. You had plenty to say online. I know, Kemi's voice cracked. I'm sorry. Zina laughed, low, bitter. You tried to ruin my life, and you think sorry covers it. I was jealous. The words spilled out fast, desperate. You left us behind. You changed. You stopped calling, stopped coming around. Then you're posting from Capri, and I'm still in Surulere eating noodles for dinner. So, you stalked me, edited a video to make me look like a prostitute, posted it to thousands of people. Kemi flinched. I didn't think it would go that far. Yes, you did. That's exactly what you wanted. Tears ran down Kemi's face now. I was angry. I felt left behind. Zina stepped closer. Her voice dropped, cold and precise. You weren't left behind. You stayed the same. I grew. And instead of asking me how, instead of working on yourself, you tried to drag me down. That's not jealousy, Kemi. That's evil. Kemi sobbed openly now. I know, I'm sorry. I'll delete everything. I'll post a retraction. I don't want your retraction. Zina's voice was flat. I want you to sit with what you did. I want you to understand that you hurt me, really hurt me. Not because I deserved it, but because you couldn't handle your own inadequacy. She turned to walk away. Zina, please. Zina stopped, looked back. You want forgiveness? Earn it. Build something. Fix yourself. Stop tearing other women down and start building yourself up. She walked away. No hug, no reconciliation, no Hollywood moment, just release. Daniel was waiting by the car. You good? He asked quietly. Zena nodded. Yeah, I'm good. He opened the door for her. She paused before getting in. Thank you, she said, for today, for showing up. Daniel smiled. I meant what I said in there. Which part? All of it. They drove in comfortable silence for a while. Lagos traffic was already building, even on a Sunday evening. Then Daniel cleared his throat. So, I know this might be bad timing, he said, glancing at her, but I need to ask you something. Zena raised an eyebrow. If this is about business, it's not. He pulled the car over. Right there, on the side of the expressway, hazards flashing. Zena's heart started racing. Daniel turned to her. I like you, he said simply. Not as a client, not as a colleague, as you. And I know you've been through hell this week, and I know this is possibly the worst timing ever, but... Yes, Zena said. Daniel blinked. Yes? Yes, I like you too. Yes, I want to see where this goes. Yes, you can take me to dinner properly this time. He grinned. Wide, boyish, genuine. Okay then. Okay. They sat there for a moment, grinning at each other like idiots. Then Zena leaned over and kissed him. Traffic honked around them. Neither of them cared. 6 months later, Zena's life looked different. Not externally. She still posted content, still closed deals, still wore her tattoos and gold-cuffed braids. But internally, something had shifted. She had someone who saw her. Daniel wasn't intimidated by her success. He celebrated it. When brands tried to lowball her, he helped her negotiate. When trolls attacked, he didn't tell her to ignore them. He helped her strategize responses. They worked together, traveled together, built together. And slowly, carefully, Zena let her walls calm down. One Friday evening, they were at his apartment. Minimalist, all glass and clean lines. When Daniel set down his wine glass and looked at her. I need to tell you something, he said. Zena's stomach tightened. That sounds ominous. It's not. At least, I hope it's not. He took her hand. I'm in love with you. The world tilted. Zena opened her mouth, closed it. You don't have to say it back, Daniel added quickly. I just needed you to know. I see you, the real you, not the Instagram version, and I'm in love with all of it. Zena's eyes burned. She'd spent so long being strong, being untouchable, being enough on her own. And here was someone saying, I see you, and I'm not going anywhere. I love you too, she whispered. Daniel exhaled like he'd been holding his breath for months. He kissed her, soft, reverent. When they pulled apart, he reached into his pocket. Okay, this wasn't supposed to happen tonight, he said, laughing nervously. I had a whole plan. Rooftop, sunset, photographer hiding in the bushes. Zena's heart stopped. He pulled out a small velvet box. But I can't wait. Zena Akinlade, will you marry me? She didn't hesitate. Yes. The engagement photo went live 2 days later. Zena in a gold slip dress, Daniel in a white shirt, sleeves rolled up, her hand on his chest, ring catching the light. Caption, he saw the receipts and still chose me. The internet exploded. Couple goals. She's getting married to a king. We love to see it. This is what happens when you mind your business and stay in your lane. Congratulations. But also, she trapped him. He's using her for clout. Give it 6 months. Zena read the comments with Daniel, both of them laughing. They're never going to be happy for us, are they? She said. Nope. And that's their problem. He kissed her temple. So, wedding plans. Zena grinned. I want to do it in Ibadan. Daniel raised an eyebrow. Your hometown? After everything. Especially after everything. I want every single person who gossiped, who lied, who tried to tear me down. I want them to see me win. You're diabolical. I'm deliberate. Daniel laughed. All right, Ibadan it is. The next 3 months were a blur of wedding planning. Zena handled it the way she handled everything strategically. She hired the best planner in Lagos, booked the most beautiful venue in Ibadan, a garden estate transformed with white draping, gold accents, fairy lights strung through the trees. Her mother cried when she saw the guest list. You invited Auntie Bimpe? After what she said, I invited everyone, mommy. I want them all to see. See what? That I won. Her mother didn't understand, but she would. The traditional engagement came first. Zina in coral lace and gele, looking like royalty. Daniel's family came through, loud, joyful, dripping in aso ebi. Her family met them with the same energy, old tensions temporarily forgotten in the face of Owambe rice and small chops. During the ceremony, Daniel's father stood to speak. My son told me about this woman months ago, he said, smiling. He said, Dad, I met someone who works harder than anyone I know. She's brilliant, she's fearless, and people hate her for it. The crowd murmured, and I told him, That's how you know she's the one. A woman like that will build empires with you. Zina's throat tightened. Daniel squeezed her hand. When it was her turn to speak, Zina kept it short. I've spent years being told I'm too much, too loud, too successful, too visible. But Daniel doesn't want me to shrink. He wants me to grow, and that's why I'm here. The applause was thunderous. Even Auntie Bimpe clapped. Kemi, sitting in the back, cried into her napkin. The white wedding was 2 weeks later. Same estate, different energy. Zina walked down the aisle in a custom gown, fitted bodice, flowing train, sheer sleeves that showed her tattoo. Her braids were styled into an intricate updo, gold cuffs glinting. She looked like art. Daniel cried when he saw her. The pastor's voice rang out over the crowd. Marriage is a partnership, a union of two people who choose each other every single day, despite what the world says. He looked at Zina. This woman has faced storms, accusations, betrayal, and she stood tall, not because she was unbreakable, but because she refused to break. Then he looked at Daniel. And this man chose to stand with her, not behind her, not in front of her, with her. The vows were simple. Daniel, I promise to see you, always, even when the world refuses to. Zina, I promise to let you, even when it's hard. They kissed. The crowd erupted. At the reception, Zina's former classmates whispered in corners. She really did it. I can't believe she's married. And to someone like him? Tolu, standing near the bar, looked at Jade. We messed up. Yeah, we did. Across the room, Kemi watched from the back. She hadn't been invited, but Zina's mother had added her to the list at the last minute, out of pity. Kemi saw Zina and Daniel on the dance floor, laughing, glowing. The reception was winding down. Guests were full: jollof rice, asun, pepper soup, small chops, cake. The DJ had played every Afrobeat hit from the last decade. Aunties had danced. Uncles had sprayed money. It was, by all accounts, a perfect wedding. Zina stood at the head table, Daniel's hand in hers, watching the controlled chaos with satisfaction. This was a victory lap. Then, the MC handed her the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, the bride would like to say a few words. The room quieted. Guests turned, curious. Zina stood, smoothing her reception dress, a sleek gold number that caught the light like liquid sun. Thank you all for being here, she began, voice clear and steady. It means the world to me and Daniel that you came to celebrate with us. Polite applause. But before we close the night, I want to say something. She paused, looking around the room. Her eyes landed on her mother, then on Auntie Bimpe, then on Kemi, half hidden in the back. A year ago, people in this very town said I'd never find a good man, that I was too much, too loud, too independent, that no man would want a woman like me. The room shifted uncomfortably. They said I was doing rituals, sleeping with married men, selling my body. Gasps, murmurs. Her mother looked mortified, But Zena's voice didn't waver. And you know what? I almost believed them. Not because it was true, but because when everyone tells you you're wrong, it's hard to keep believing you're right. She looked at Daniel. He nodded, encouraging, but I didn't shrink. I didn't hide. I kept my receipts. I kept my integrity. And I found a man who saw the real me. Not the rumors, not the projections, but me. The room was dead silent now. So, to every young woman here who's been told she's too much, believe them. You are too much. Too much for small minds. Too much for insecure people. Too much for anyone who wants you dim. Her voice rose. Be too much. Build too much. Earn too much. And when they come for you, keep your receipts. The room erupted in applause. Real this time, not polite. Daniel stood, wrapping an arm around her waist. He kissed her temple, and the guests melted. But Zina wasn't done. One more thing, she said, raising a hand. Same date next month at 10 a.m. This same venue. I'm hosting a free workshop. Brand deals, contracts, how to actually make money as a content creator, legally, ethically, sustainably. Heads turned. Young women leaned forward. I'm going to teach you everything I know. How to pitch, how to negotiate, how to protect yourself. And if you don't want to be a creator, I'll show you alternative skills. UGC, community management, graphic design, social media strategy. She paused. No catch, no fee. Just bring a notebook and an open mind. The younger guests started clapping. Then the older ones joined in, some reluctantly, others with genuine curiosity. Zina handed the mic back to the MC. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your night. Later, when the guests had filtered out and only family remained, Zina's mother pulled her aside. Why are you doing this? She asked quietly. The workshop. Why give them your secrets? Zina looked at her mother, really looked at her, saw the worry lines, the grey hairs, the years of fear. Because nobody gave them to me, mommy. And I don't want the next girl to fight as hard as I did. Her mother's eyes filled with tears. I'm sorry, she whispered, for doubting you, for listening to them. Zina hugged her. You didn't know, but now you do. They stood there for a moment, mother and daughter, finally on the same side. Then Danielle appeared, jacket off, tie loosened. Ready to go, Mrs. Okoye? Zina grinned. I'm never going to get used to that. Good. I like watching you smile. They left the venue hand in hand, fairy lights twinkling behind them. Next month, Zina would teach. But tonight, she has a husband to enjoy and a honeymoon to get ready for. The following month, Zina arrived at the venue at 9:30 a.m. She wore jeans, a crisp white shirt, and her favorite sneakers, hair in a high ponytail, tattoo visible. No armor today, just her. Daniel helped her set up projector, screen, printed handouts, bottles of water. By 9:50, the hall was half full. By 10:05, it was packed. Young women, young men, a few curious aunties, even some of the cousins who'd side-eyed her at the family meeting. And in the back, partially hidden behind a column, Kemi. Zina saw her. The eyes met. Zina didn't smile, but she didn't look away either. She stepped up to the mic. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. Her voice was calm, confident, no nerves. My name is Zina Akinlade Okoye, and a year ago, people in this town tried to destroy me. Uncomfortable shifting. They filmed me, edited footage, posted lies, called me a prostitute, a ritualist, a scammer. Someone coughed. A few people looked at the floor. But here's the thing, I'm not any of those things. I'm a brand strategist, a content creator, a businesswoman. And today I'm going to show you how I built an 80 million naira business in 2 years, legally. Pens hit paper. Phones came out to record. Zina clicked to the first slide. For the next 2 hours, she walked them through everything. Slide 1. The myth versus the reality. People think influencing is just posting pretty pictures. It's not. It's strategy. It's knowing your. Slide 2. How to pitch a brand. She showed them real emails, her early ones, full of mistakes, and her current ones, polished and professional. You're not begging, you're offering value. Know your metrics, know your audience demographics. Make it easy for them to say yes. Slide 3, the anatomy of a contract. She broke down a real contract: terms, deliverables, payment schedules, kill fees, usage rights. Never sign anything without reading it twice. Get a lawyer if you can afford one. If you can't, there are free legal clinics. I'll give you the contacts. Slide 4, invoicing and taxes. This is the part people skip. Don't. You have to register your business. Get a tax ID, keep receipts, pay your taxes. It protects you and legitimizes you. A young woman raised her hand. But what if we don't want to be influencers? What else can we do? Zena smiled. Great question. Slide 5, alternative skills in the creator economy. She listed them: UGC content creation, social media management, graphic design, video editing, community management, content strategy, copywriting. You don't have to be the face, you can be behind the scenes. Some of the highest earners I know never show their faces. Danielle joined her on stage for a segment on partnerships and equity. Whether you're working with a brand or a co founder, make sure everything is in writing. Protect yourself, protect your work. He told his own story: grinding, being doubted, being accused of fraud. People will always question fast success. Let your work speak louder than their doubts. By noon, Zine opened the floor for questions. A girl, maybe 20, raised her hand. Her voice shook. But what if people still talk about you? What if they still don't believe you? Zina set down the mic, walked to the edge of the stage. Let them, she said simply. Your bank account doesn't lie. Your contracts don't lie. You don't lie. Build something so undeniable that the noise becomes irrelevant. Another hand, an older woman. But isn't it hard being a woman in this space? Zina nodded. It's exhausting. Men do half the work and get twice the respect. We have to be twice as good to be seen as half as credible. That's the reality. She paused. But that doesn't mean we stop. It means we document. We keep receipts. We build systems. We support each other. And we refuse to shrink. The room was silent. Then someone started clapping. Then another. Then the whole room was on its feet. After the session, people swarmed her. Can I get your contact? Do you do one-on-one mentorship? Can I send you my media kit? Zina handed out business cards, answered questions, took photos. And then, when the crowd thinned, Kemi approached. She looked smaller up close, tired. Her edges weren't laid. Her shirt was wrinkled. Zina, she said quietly. Zina turned, waited. I I don't expect you to forgive me, but I wanted to say thank you for this, for teaching us. Zina studied her. Why are you really here, Kemi? Kemi's eyes filled with tears. Because I'm broke. I'm stuck. And I don't know how to get out. Zina handed her a flyer. Digital marketing course. Starts next month. 15,000 naira. I'll sponsor you. Kemi's mouth fell open. Why would you? Because I'm not like you, Zina said, not unkindly. I don't kick people when they're down. I give them a ladder. What you do with it is up to you. Kemi took the flyer, hands shaking. Thank you. Zina nodded. Don't thank me. Just do the work. She walked away. No hug. No tearful reconciliation. Just grace with boundaries. Outside, Daniel was waiting by the car. You ready? He asked. Zina looked back at the venue, at the young women still clustered in groups, exchanging contacts, buzzing with ideas. Yeah, she said, I'm ready. They got in the car. Daniel started the engine. As they pulled away, Zina's phone exploded with notifications. DMs from women asking for mentorship, brands asking for her rates, interview requests from podcasts and blogs. She smiled, tossed the phone to Daniel. We've got work to do. He grinned. We always do. The end.